Chapter 14 of The Light Shall Set You Free, Norma Milanovich. The Law of Compensation. Starts with, if you help others, you will be helped. Perhaps tomorrow, perhaps in 1,000 years, but you will be helped. Nature must pay off the debt. It is a mathematical law, and all life is mathematics. The law of compensation is the law which helps us to understand abundance and how we can deal with financial matters. The law of compensation is the law of cause and effect as applied to blessings that are bestowed on us. While the law of cause and effect deals primarily with events, the law of compensation deals with the material and spiritual gains we receive in life. It is the manifestation of this law that we see the visible effects of our deeds as they are given to us in gifts, money, inheritances, friendships, and blessings. Many of us do not receive these blessings as a result of the conscious and subconscious beliefs that direct the events of our lives. If we wish to master this law and receive abundance, we must break the poverty consciousness, which comes from our conditioning in this lifetime, and from the programming of past lives. We must leave the tapes of these experiences behind and see the world as a place of abundance, where there is plenty for everyone, instead of a world where there is not enough for all. We need to overcome the programming of the past that was fed by statements such as, money is the root of all evil, the rich cannot be spiritual. To be spiritual means that we must renounce money and things in life that give us pleasure and comfort. If we are to break our poverty consciousness, we must reprogram our thinking so that our conscious and subconscious minds do not sabotage our true do returns. Affirmations are a valuable way to do this. People are successful in life because they do more for others and because they have an attitude that supports success. If you want to get more out of life, then you must give more with right thoughts, emotions, actions, and words every time you give a gift or perform a service for someone else. The application of this law does not always mean that what you give is exactly what you will receive. Sometimes giving in one form, such as money, means that you will receive compensation in another form, such as a friend taking you out to lunch, or someone giving you a beautiful gift. In addition, the law is extended by the law of tenfold return. Whatever you give is returned in ways that are 10 times the value of your gift. Sometimes we have made an arrangement or agreement to use this law in different ways. If you are a person who feels that you have given more than you have received, chances are that this is either because of karmic debt or because you've been using this law as a savings plan. Agreements could have been made where you gave freely with the understanding that the payments would come later in life, or even in a subsequent lifetime. You could be starting a savings plan of good karma that will carry you into the future. Never despair of this law, regardless of how you feel you have been treated. Have faith always, and know that it is fair, just, and true. Do not confuse the applications of this law with the tests of initiation. Sometimes what has been delivered appears to be a punishment, whereas in reality it is not. It is a test to strengthen and some weakness within. Discernment teaches us the difference between the two. Be mindful that what appears to be opposite of a reward may actually turn out to be an incredible benefit and gift later on. Once a test has been passed and a person has become better for the experience. Patience is the key. Wait, and the gifts will be revealed. Master Amoria describes the law of compensation in the following transmission. Greetings, O sisters and brothers from the stars. I come forth to deliver this next piece of information, which is pertinent for understanding the full context of universal laws. It is with great pleasure that I deliver the following instruction to you, the recipients of the divine knowledge of the universe. I come as your servant and elder brother, as I provide you with secrets for increasing your wealth. Allow me to begin by asking you the question, in what way may I serve you? I begin in this way, for doing so provides an example of what comprises the basic foundation for application of the law of compensation. The law of compensation is an extension of the law of cause and effect, in that it reflects the just rewards or punishments individuals receive for the seeds that they have sown. It is an exact law with its own deviations, that works to provide to the individual greater things than ever imagined. This occurs when the soul aligns with the higher self in service to others. Law of compensation is about giving and receiving. It's the law that guarantees that each will be provided for by God. It is the manifestation of divine order in all things, that which grants freedom to the minds that work to dissolve the attitudes of poverty, consciousness, and insatiable needs. The law is flawless in its design. Basically, it says that for everything given, there shall be a return. But there is a twist in this law that not everyone realizes. This twist is called for law of tenfold return. What this law reveals is that once a person learns to give freely from the heart, the universe returns the gift with a tenfold yield. This supports the premise that it's better to give than receive. I give this knowledge freely from my heart, dear ones. Furthermore, I freely ask, what more can I give in this moment of time? In so doing, because my attitude, motive, and heart are all aligned with truth, I reveal to you now that I shall be rewarded tenfold for this offering. For most, the law of tenfold return goes into effect primarily when the individual learns to release fears that send the message that there's not enough. Another condition that facilitates enactment of this law is when the auric fields of the initiate are attuned to the higher vibrations of light. Attaining a higher frequency in the light automatically raises the body, mind, and spirit into a higher dimension of mind, which releases the old programming that keeps one in bondage. One cannot separate the laws of their influence on individuals in a universe of oneness. Therefore, it must be reinforced that compensation is also the reflection of a person's multidimensional thinking. The most radiant one states this when he declared, "A man thinketh, so shall he become." This command assures that what is reaped is the just consequence of all that is sown. The law of compensation assures that everything is fair and all is in alignment with the divine. For the laws are not biased. Each soul is treated impartially and indifferently by the laws. Each soul is its own judge while on earth plane, for free will dictates the gifts that will be given to each. Another factor that enters into just compensation is the fulfillment of promises and contracts made between lifetimes. Each soul who comes to earth is on a mission from God, whether it realizes it or not. Contracts are made in the etheric and reviewed periodically in the dream states, assessing the standards and measures of performance for individual and embodiment. When promises are kept, the soul is rewarded tenfold. This is a mark of those who possess the Midas touch. When the word is not honored, a lower vibrational frequency is initiated, which sets the individual up for what are termed disappointments and frustrations, which are not readily understood on the earth plane. When one assesses the complexity of all the dimensional realities and vibrational frequencies that impact the soul, one quickly sees that the alignment with the light of the higher self is the only way out of bondage. All must be in the highest vibration and truth to control one's destiny. Connection to the higher self and to God's will grants peace, harmony, and a fulfilled life. Free will is God's gift to humanity. This allows all individuals to choose their own rewards in life based on the application of integrity. Integrity is the key which grants the soul on the spiritual path greater gifts and rewards, including both spiritual and material offerings. When a soul feels helpless to change life events, invoking the law of perpetual transmutation of radiant energy in cooperation with the higher self is the way to remedy the situation. Apply this law and wait for the returns. Applying this law creates divine order, and the compensation that comes surpasses all understanding. Speaking of compensation, there is another important aspect of this law, which includes payment to oneself. Too often, individuals give to others and do not give to themselves. This depicts a lack of self-love and creates an imbalance in the energy fields that support the natural flow of energy. All must learn to love themselves first, and from this state of mind, all else flows. The more you love yourselves, the more love you have to give to others. It is like a cup that is always full. The cup that overflows is the cup of divine love that spills out into the universe, touching the robes of all others. By not treating oneself with the same kindness bestowed upon others, a cycle of deprivation is established. Positive thoughts, attitudes, words, and actions are needed at all times to keep the energy flowing. Blockages create inequities, although from the universal perspective, inequities are only perceived and are not reality. Nevertheless, all must be kept in alignment with harmony and love, and this includes the love of self, which is contained within. Overcompensation to others is another stumbling block to the smooth operations of this law. The human psyche is clever and can deceive one to believe that if one gives more to another, then that soul is deemed more worthy and loving. Therefore, giving must be a good and honorable thing in that it justifies one's own self-worth. As was stated earlier, giving and giving freely is an honorable thing, and the action which grants freedom. But if giving is done with the wrong motive, such as giving to make up for the lack of love within, then the energies once again are blocked. All must give equally to themselves and to others to keep the energy balanced. Balance, balance, balance. This is the only path to follow in achieving mastery. If balance is maintained at all times and truth and integrity are adhered to, then the law of compensation shall be realized. In honor of the God within, I, Amoria, do complete this transmission for the divine. Go in peace. Thank you for this lesson today. Good day.